Okay, so what we have here is a 1957 Eldorado Brougham and a 1958 60 Special Fleetwood. And we're here with Glenn Brown, and Glenn is the owner of the 57 Brougham and is the temporary caretaker of the 57 Fleetwood. Glenn, tell us what's the same and what's different with these.
Well, they're both expensive as heck. These are premium Cadillacs, both for 57 and 58. For 58, actually, the Eldorado Brougham is very, very similar in both 57 and 58. So, in appearance, from an appearance standpoint, they're virtually identical. Starting with the 60 Special, this is essentially the top of the line Cadillac, short of going to the Eldorado. Very nice interior. It's a very original car. And it's big. A lot of comfort in this car. This is how you showed the neighbors that you have arrived.
And the doors are spring-loaded.
Doors are spring-loaded. They kind of help you pop them, and they kind of help you open them a little bit. You notice these doors open in a conventional manner, unlike the Brougham, which we'll see later. A lot of trim. It's a big car. It's bigger than the Brougham. You notice the...
this is all ribbed.
All aluminum side trim. You notice it's got the gangster whites, which are appropriate for this vintage of 60 Special. The engines on these could be very similar. The Eldorados normally came in 57, came with dual quads. In 58, they came with tri-power. That was an option on the 60 Special. This one has the standard 4-barrel carburetor.
Now, not to put too fine a point on it, but here the Dagmar is rather normal size, and here the Dagmar has sort of a Hollywood kind of a look to it.
The 58 has got somewhat smaller Dagmars than the Brougham does.
Simply a design issue, not a genetic...
I'm not going there.
Okay.
All right, this one, the 57 Eldorado Brougham, this is a much rarer car. They only made 704 of these over 2 years. In 58, they made 304. This is a 57, as I said. This one, not quite as original as that one. You notice the thinner white walls, which are appropriate for this vintage car. However, it is on radials as opposed to standard tires. Now, the doors on this one open a little bit differently than they do on the 60 Special. And there's also less room in this car than there is in the 60 Special. There's more junk in here too. The Brougham has a lot of features on it that the 60 Special does not. It also costs a lot more. This car was $13,000 plus in 1957 and 58. I can't remember what the cost of the 60 Special was, but it was less.
And this has the stainless top.
It has a stainless steel roof, has a number of options. While the 60 Special does have a power trunk opener, this one has a power trunk open and closure. The 60 Special has power seats. This has power seats with memory.
I noticed this had automatic door locks too, because I actually got to drive it here for the photo shoot. Yeah, how unusual was that?
It has power locks. When you put the car in gear, the rear door is locked. When the car is, the rear doors are open, the car will not go into gear.
Oh, very good.
But both examples of, this is what you go to the country club to try and impress your friends with. This one is a much more, it's a smaller car, but it's more imposing in its appearance. As I said, the Dagmars are bigger. Both 4-headlight cars. Both of them have serious horns. While this one is loud, being a Brougham, of course, it's got to one-up everybody. And the Brougham is a little bit louder. Yeah, that was a freight train going by.
I was going to say a set of railroad tracks, just the crossing gates closed.
And they both have power antennas. They're just both interesting cars to drive. The 60 Special is bigger.
A little bit more trim here.
You know, on this.
Whereas this has what almost looks like vent louvers to it.
And the hood on the 60 Special opens in a conventional manner.
Okay. Ah.
It also looks really nice under here.
And this is an all original car, as you were saying.
Yes, that's my understanding. This is an all original car.
That is when an air conditioning compressor was an air conditioning compressor.
That is a serious AC compressor.
And now this is the air ride compressor. Is that what this is?
You know, I believe so. I believe that is the air ride compressor. My recollection is this is an air ride car.
And you mentioned that this thing was primarily used to go to the country club, hence the golf tee.
I think that's why his wipers work and mine don't.
Ah.
Now, while the 60 Special hood opens in a conventional manner, the Brougham has a pancake hood, which opens backwards.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of things that are wrong under here. That is not the correct air cleaner. The correct air cleaner is a triangular gold one. This car was on air ride at one point in time. It is not any longer. And there are a number of other little discrepancies under here. As you can tell, it's pretty much original under here, but it looks it and just needs a major cleanup. Just haven't got that far yet. Now it unlocks, but it doesn't open like a Brougham. It's got enough room in there for several bodies.
A significant trunk. Now, are these the exhaust ports in the back?
These are the exhaust ports. So I believe they've been bypassed. One of the problems they had with these is over the course of time, the exhaust would cause these to corrode and they would deform. So I believe he has, as have I, directed the exhaust down. Little handle here for the to open the trunk, and then this one, you latch it and it closes itself.
Nice.
It's a Cadillac. On a Eldorado Brougham, the Eldorado Brougham closes and opens by motor. If it's working properly, come on, has a motor that opens it. You notice the trunk is much smaller than on a 60 Special.
Much.
You can get a couple of golf club bags in here, but you're not going to be able to get the foursome in here if you lose playing golf. Now it does have another little neat feature, which it does close itself, power.
Very nice.
Now this
Fuel here.
fuel there.
And on the other car, there's no hole for the fuel.
There's no place to put the gas. Well, that's because it goes there. It's fully hidden.
There you go. The fins are pretty similar on the two cars, and they're big. They're not the biggest fins Cadillac ever had, but these things are pretty significant as far as fins go. So yeah, they are pretty significant fins all the way around. What wound up being the year of the biggest fins for Cadillacs?
Generally, the belief is the 59s and the Fleetwoods, probably have the tallest fins. And you mentioned the exhaust ports on the 60 Special. This also has the exhaust, which would on the original ones come through the bumper, and it should have the same type of louvers that the 58 does.
Got it.
See, the taillights are somewhat different. They're in the bumper and in the fins of this car as opposed to being...
So this would have been considered a much more sporty car.
Yeah, this was a sporty car. The Eldorados were the sportier cars, whereas this was a more staid car.
Got it.
This person wore a tie and had a hat and had plenty of room to wear it. This was the guy with the sport coat and the cravat.
Got it.
On these cars, the engines are the same. They're both 365. As I mentioned earlier, this one factory came with 2 4-barrel carburetors. This one has one now. It proved problematic in the 60s, and the owner had the second carburetor taken off. This is a 365 cubic inch engine. This one has the 4-barrel carburetor, although in 58 a tri-power Eldorado engine was available as an option. However, this car does not have it.
Now, I noticed on the Brougham that the valve covers are a gold color, and on this they're blue.
These are Cadillac blue. The other ones are Cadillac Eldorado gold.
So that was a specific and intentional mark of a different submodel.
Yes, the engines are physically the same. They just took a little more care, especially on the Brougham, since the Brougham was such a limited production car.
And just absolutely gorgeous. So rough figures, how many of these did they make?
704.
And any idea as to how many of these?
My recollection is something on the order of about 13,000 or more. And the Brougham was 704 over 2 years, and this particular body style, was 58 only. 57 is slightly different, and 59 is entirely different.
Well, you almost run out of camera to hold in that whole car. It's almost bigger than the viewfinder. Amazing, amazing cars.
Okay, this is your 58 60 Special. More conventional dashboard. This car does have air conditioning, as we mentioned earlier. Clock, real gauges, and although I believe there may be idiot lights helping along, but they are full gauges in this car, which is something you don't see on modern cars anymore. And the little flaps there at the top of the dash, those are air vents. And this little deal here, that's for the Autotronic eye. That dims the headlights as you're driving along at night and someone is coming toward you and you have your bright lights on. It dims the lights.
Very nice. Power brakes.
Power brakes, power steering, power windows. And these are power vents. The rears, however, are manual. These you have to push the button to open those.
Nice. That was presumably to get the cigarette smoke out.
Yeah, so you get the cigarette smoke out of it.
Right. No doubt in your mind that it's a Cadillac. So if you were a smoker, right in the middle of the back seat is where you would put your butts, in that Cadillac ashtray with the cigarette or cigar lighter and the big emblem right on top.
Brougham, things are a little different in that you have your turn signal indicators are up here on top of the dash. You have 4 gauges: oil, temperature, generator, and fuel. And each one of those gauges has a little idiot light shaped like a Cadillac crest.
Oh, nice.
This car also came with air conditioning, although it is not currently working.
Trying to see if I can find that little crest in there. I know it's in there because I saw it.
Just a minute. See him?
There's your Cadillac crest. And they both came with AM radios.
Both came with AM radios, signal seeking. This one was a transistor radio, which was new for 57 and unique to this car. Also, as you mentioned, the 60 Special told you what it was. The Brougham does too. It just does it a little bit more with a little bit more subtlety.
I would like to not get my reflection in there, but There's so much chrome on here, and it's just beautiful. It's the Brougham Chrome.
It still has the vents, the air vents, and the autotronic eye.
A little different style of visor here.
Oh yes, forgot to mention the visors. The visors in this car are plastic and they're polarized. You don't look under them, you look through them.
Okay.
And as you move them, it darkens,
right. Darkens
or lightens,
and
depending on which way they're turned. And that is unique to the Broghams.
That and the turn signals makes this thing look about as futuristic as the Jetsons back in the day. Okay, now we're in the back seat of the Brougham, where you still get a beautiful Cadillac emblem, but things are a little more confined back here. A little smaller space. You do have a nice armrest in the middle, which actually has storage. And didn't this come with a makeup compact?
This car came with a number of options. It came with perfume and perfume atomizer. Came with a notebook with a cross pen, a beveled glass mirror, a cigarette case, the stainless steel tumblers, of which there are 6 in a case, and I think that's all the toys. But it does come with a number of items. We refer to them as the vanities, and it is rare to have a car that has all of them. I have many of them. I do not have all.
It's not every day that you get to see 2 1950s classic Cadillacs in the same place. We hope you've enjoyed a quick tour of the major features and style differences that Cadillac offered to family-oriented executives and professionals in the 1958 Sixty Special and a more sporty option with the 1957 Eldorado Brougham. Special thanks to Glenn Brown and Lars Neller, both past presidents of the Cadillac and LaSalle Club, for making this video possible. If you'd like more information about classic Cadillacs, are looking to buy one, or you have one you'd like to show off, consider joining us at the Cadillac and LaSalle Club. We're the west of the Lake region of the Cadillac and LaSalle Club in the Chicago area. We make videos like this to show off classic Cadillacs as well as the newest Cadillacs like the all-electric Lyric. Please like and subscribe to our video channel and you'll be the first to get new videos. The more viewers we have, the more videos we can make and share with you. Thanks for watching.